Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace the drive axle seals on your Honda HS622 two-stage snowblower. Now the problem that I noticed in the past few months, parked in my garden shed, that there was a puddle of oil underneath my snowblower. And I know the motor itself was not leaking because I had recently serviced it. But what I did notice was that it kept coming off the right side of the unit. And so when I lifted up the snowblower, it's only been here for like half an hour. You can see there's some oil there. That the bottom of the transmission case is covered in oil. And upon closer inspection, you can see that shaft on the right, it's also really wet with oil, whereas the one on the left is bone dry. Now, before we begin, we want to shut off the fuel to the carburetor. And we also want to make sure that your fuel tank is 1/4 or below, preferably near empty, because what we're going to do is that we're going to tip this snowblower up into the service position. Now, with the carburetor fuel valve closed, we're going to start up the engine and burn off the excess fuel so that it doesn't leak out of the carburetor when we tip it forward. So we're going to let the engine run until it completely cuts out of fuel. So depending on what resources you have available, you want to get the snowblower up off the ground so that you can drain the transmission. Now on the underside of the transmission, from the back of the snowblower, there is this 12mm headed bolt that has to be undone and then drain the oil. Make sure that you get the crush washer off with the bolt as well. To help drain the oil a little bit faster, very carefully tip the snowblower back. Here's the alternate view once the unit's been tipped up. So while that continues to drain that last little bit, I'm going to spray the underside of the transaxle with some brake cleaner to clean up all this leaking oil. Loosely reinstall the drain plug just to keep dirt out. All right, so I've rolled off the unit from our lift, and now we need to prop this up against a wall or an overhead door because we're going to now put the snowblower into service position. Now, before doing so, I'm going to put like a old carpeted mat or a rubber mat on the ground just so that when we lean it up against the edge of the bucket that you're not going to scratch up all your paint. Now, before doing so, turn the chute off 90 degrees to either side and then tip the unit up and adjust the mats accordingly. And that's what that looks like in service position. The next step here is to undo the cotter pin and then remove this lock pin for the front and rear pulleys. Just be aware that you might need to put new cotter pins in, and to also note that this retaining pin, they're different sizes for the front and back. Okay, cotter pin's removed. We just pull that pin out and you'll notice that it's kind of a half circle. And then there's a washer that comes out with it. Then you pull the bottom one out. It's a full headed pin and no washer. So depending how tight the treads were from the factory or how much stretch it's incurred, you might be able to just carefully pull these treads off by just sliding them back and forth off of the axles. Oh, looks like I got mine off pretty easily. And it just comes off like that. Now the next thing we want to do is, using a 14mm socket, take this bolt off, and then using a 12mm socket to take that bolt out, and then I believe this is a 14mm wrench to loosen that up to slide this entire bracket assembly off. Whoop. Okay, so bolt, washer, and there's a corresponding washer in the back, presumably that the raised edge passes through like this. Top, so I've already loosened this with a 14mm wrench, and then this last 12mm bolt, you undo it, and then this just simply comes off, and then you raise it up and then out. Okay, so replacement part is Honda 91256-729-931. With the bracket removed, our axle is now fully exposed, and you can feel there's some corrosion. It's a bit rough. So we're going to take some fine sandpaper here, and we're going to sand off all this corrosion so that it's nice and smooth, because when we put the new seal on, it's got to glide over that, and we don't want this rust and stuff to nick the seal on the new one. So just lightly sand this off. You don't have to be crazy aggressive. I want to sand this first before that seal comes out so none of the particles get into the transaxle. Now there's a couple of methods that you guys can use to remove this seal. In the automotive realm, I normally take a thin flat bladed screwdriver and I wedge it between the output shaft, taking care not to scratch the actual shaft, and then prying the seal out that way. But because this rubber portion is quite wide, it's a bit difficult to shove a screwdriver in there. Alternatively, you can drill a small wood screw in here through the rubber seal, and then using a pair of pliers, carefully yanking that out, and that'll kind of pull the seal away. Or you can take a small flat bladed screwdriver and very carefully work the seal out just by going around and prying. I'm not even applying a lot of force, and you can sort of see this already coming out. So just work your way around that seal until it comes out. And just like that, you just slide that off. Using a clean paper towel or a rag, just clean out the channel that the seal sits in. Make sure there's no dirt and water and stuff. Now before we install the new seal, you want to make sure that you use your hand, feel the shaft to make sure that there's no rough spots, nicks and burrs that will tear up the new seal. And this one's nice and smooth. But before doing so, I'm going to take a little bit of this synthetic grease and just apply a really thin layer of it onto the shaft. And the reason why we want to do this is that we want to give as little drag to that lip seal, or the seal lip, I should say, sorry, from catching on any of the parts here on the snowblower. Otherwise you might tear it and it'll cause a leak again. Slide this on, just giving a gentle twisting motion as it goes on. And then once it gets towards the snowblower, you can actually push this in by hand for the most part, or you can just use like the end of a socket or a wood block and just tap that in. So what I used here to tap that seal in towards the end after pushing it in my hand was a series of socket extensions. And basically I went around the seal, tapping it evenly, little bit by little bit, until I got the seal's metal ring flush with the transmission housings opening. Now it's really important that you progressively tap it in just a little bit, opposing each corner every time, and just kind of go around in a circle, making sure that you have that tapped in as evenly as you can. And looking from the side view, it doesn't stick out or it's not tilted in any way. We've reinstalled our bracket. We've installed that back tapered washer, or I guess shouldered washer, behind the bracket, such that it passes through this piece. And then we have our top washer, and then our 14mm headed bolt. And then we've also reinstalled the 12mm headed bolt through the chassis. And then to get this to line up, you have to kind of push down on this a little bit just to get things to go. We keep this loosened because when we install our tread, we might need this bar to come down just a little bit to give us that tiny bit of clearance to get those pulleys on properly without struggling. And then once we've got that all popped on, we can then retighten that back so that it sits snug on the bracket. And because we didn't touch this lower nut, the positioning should be correct. Okay, so that little bit of give on that back axle definitely helped. So the rounded head front pin has to pass through our shaft. So let's just line that up with the hole. Oh, there we go. Got that through. Then we install our washer for the back one. And then this is the one that's got the half moon pin that goes through. That half moon sits flat against the washer. Okay, so with our tread reinstalled, snug up your tread tension bolt, or tension nut, I should say. So again, because we didn't touch that bottom nut, you just keep tightening until you feel it snug up. And you just cinch it down a tiny bit more, and it will be at the correct tension and setting as what it was before you disassembled it. So since we drained out the oil of the transaxle, here's a good time to put fresh oil in. We're going to open back up our transmission. Using a thin-necked funnel, refill the transmission through the drain hole with 2 liters of 5W30 synthetic engine oil. With the transmission filled, reinstall your crush washer and your drain plug, and just snug this bolt hand tight. Return it back to the ground out of service position. Moment of truth. Turn your fuel back on, set your choke, let's start her up, put it into drive around our driveway for a little bit. Well, I took this snowblower for a test drive around the block, and it's been cruising around up and down my streets now for about 15 minutes. And I've just parked it, and I've noticed that there is no signs of oil at all coming out of that drive shaft anymore. So I'm pretty sure we fixed this issue, but as you can tell from my video, they're replacing the axle seal on your Honda HS or HS622 is neither difficult nor time consuming and can be done with some real basic hand tools. And the best part is you also get a transmission oil change in that process. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and thank you for watching.